Discussion of cases. Now we will look at how the localization in computer programming can help common people, especially those who are marginalized in the larger society. So, in the first case scenario, let us look at the fishermen of Balochistan and Sindh. How many times do these fishermen become trapped in the storms, or they steer into these alien waters and they are captured by another country and they spend years away from their families just because they did not know how to go about if they were steering into alien waters. So it is argued in this paper that what we can do is perhaps in computers which are installed in public places, maybe in cafes or post offices, we could give information to these fishermen regarding when the storms are expected and when is it appropriate for them to go to the seas and when it is best to stay away from them, or what to do if they feel that they are now in the waters of another country, or what are the signs to look for to make sure that they remain in the waters of their own country. All these things, if they are on the internet, maybe they are still on the internet. The point is that these fishermen who do not have access to English language or Urdu language cannot possibly access this information. So even if there is one person among them who has some sort of literacy skills in the local languages, can look up the internet for this information only if they know the language in which the information is given, A, and B, if they know that this information is up there. Then think about the health information. Think of the problems we face when there is an epidemic, and think about the basic issues, sanitary issues, small avoidable diseases which take the lives of so many people in rural areas especially, but also in slums. So what we are essentially saying that if the information is about health hazards is in English language, people who know local languages only because their schooling did not permit them to have access to English language, then it is not possible for them to have access to this kind of information, which is best provided in the local languages. It is also argued that there might not be the need of localization in computer programming, since people who are marginalized do not actually have computers. And that is why this paper argues that the computers could be installed in the villages. Not only should be installed, usually they have these internet cafes, and once people know what information to look for and where to look for, then only they can access it. Already in internet cafes, you have this thing with young people, blocking them, exploring information. So if there is some sort of awareness campaign, and this awareness campaign links up to the kind of information they can possibly access on the internet, providing they can access it, that is, it is in their local languages, then it becomes easier for the government also and non-government organizations also to help the communities to address health-related issues. Then there is something about advocacy. There are certain causes from time to time, and this agenda, of course, changes, and some things are added, some things are deleted. One important agenda at a given time might be the spread of HIV/AIDS, to allow people to know how to avoid it, what are the things that one needs to be careful about, how can we stop the spread, how when they go for a blood transfusion, what are the things they should look for, and how they should make sure that the needle that the local doctor is using or local dispenser is using is not being reused for different patients, or they go out for instance, shaving. They need how important it is for them to see that the blade that they use on their face is boiled before it is used for other people. All those things, gender-related issues, for instance, this whole thing about honor killing, about inequality across genders. Maybe you would like to say something to the rural people about it. So, of course, we have television and we have radio also, but it is good to explore or to open up these populations to different types of ideas that are emerging in the current world. And one more avenue might be added to the avenue of TV and radio. This thing about tolerance to enable them to participate in the mainstream. This can again be done through localization in computer programming, so they can access information in their own languages. Then there is this case of adult and child literacy. So if computers can sort of provide programs for child and adult literacy, may it be through some games which children can access or the adults can access, and yet through them they can learn literacy, then again computers become a very important source where people can learn at their own pace. Right now in the world, there is this so much out there, so many online courses out there, so many MOOCs out there, so special programs can be designed for adult literacy similarly or child literacy, but again they need to be in the language of the child or the adult, because they need to make a connection between the knowledge they are gaining from the internet and to connect it to their home issues or to their home. So it's like connecting school with home, which is extremely important. It is important because knowledge is all about application of knowledge to real life problems, and that is where localization in computer programming can be helpful.